Hello and welcome, Crosstown Gamer, back at it again. Sorry for the brief hiatus. Work has been a little crazy, and some things in my personal life also have been crazy. So I haven't been able to pump out as much content. In fact, I did have to move this board to a different room temporarily, and it wasn't exactly the smoothest of transitions. And this door is closed to this room, so the cat doesn't get in here usually and play the insurgent factions. But I'm pretty sure that the cat was on this board in the other room, so some things may have gotten shifted around. I'm not exactly super confident everything is exactly in the same spot that it was. I did have to adjust a few of the victory conditions to match what I see here. I wasn't going to go back into the last video and then, scrutinize every single region of the map and try and get it exactly how it was. Um, I think if it were a more competitive game at this point, I would have done that. But every board state is a new beginning, so and a new opportunity to go from there. So I'm not too upset if things shifted around. It doesn't look like it was really in my favor. Um, but I do apologize if like continuity is really important to you, and then there's a piece like this piece. What's this piece doing out here? I realize now. Oh God, yeah, this is a total disaster. Um, we're calling it good, and yeah, that does not contribute to anything except it does take away from the Warlords' uncontrolled population. Okay, so again, apologies if everything's not where it should be. I did my best. In fact, I don't know which numbered video this is, 15 or 16 or something like that. We are at a propaganda round. The other series have gone about this far before I invariably lost or tied or something like that. So there's after this one, there's still two propaganda cards in this deck. And what I think I'm going to do is go to the next one and call that the end game. So a little bit shorter of a game, but we are going to treat the next propaganda card that comes up as the last one, and that way I can get going on the next game in the coin series. I haven't quite decided what that's going to be. I've had some requests for Colonial Twilight. I've had requests for All Bridges Burning. And so I think it'll likely be Colonial Twilight because that's the two-player one. All Bridges Burning I'm not as familiar with, so I have to get acclimated to the rules. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I should dive into the actual content of this video. So thanks for sticking around through the cat shuffling, and I bumped the table, which didn't help things. So anyway, we ran up against our second propaganda card here. And so I was going to take you through how to do this. Hopefully, even though we're not going the full 4, we're going 3 propaganda rounds. Hopefully you still get an idea as to how to play this game. And we've encountered a lot of different scenarios or situations on the map, so hopefully it's good. Anyway, rambled on for 4 minutes now. Let me get into the meat and potatoes of this video here. So first we check if any factions met its victory conditions. That's a big fat no. The Warlords are way down there at 8. They need to be at 16, so they still have a long way to go. The Taliban are at 13, and they need to be at 21, so they still have a ways to go as well. We have a long way to go. We're about halfway there as well, 17 out of 31. And then the government player is probably the closest. They're at 29 out of 36, so well over halfway there. But no one's crossed that victory threshold. I found the coin games to be lightly zero-sum in that usually not everybody is either doing really poorly or really well. Someone is doing really poorly and then conversely, someone's doing really well. But it seems like kind of everyone is stacked, at the lower end of the victory points. I mean, even the government are kind of far off from where they need to be. So it's interesting. It's an interesting observation. Anyway, next, since nobody won, we continue along. And then we go on to resources. So first, sabotage each line of communication where Taliban pieces exceed the enemy. Where's that going to be? That's going to be down here. Let me get my bowl of sabotage. Bowl of sabotage here. So breakfast of champions. And then anywhere else, I don't think so. I think they were on this line of communication at some point, or something they wanted to be. They weren't. They're not on it now. So Taliban do not outnumber enemy anywhere else. We have sabotaged. Then we add our resources. Government gets aid plus 12 minus econ of any sabotage lines of communication. There's only the one. So 12 minus 3 is going to be 9. 9 plus our aid value, which is at 32, is going to be 41 resources. So 41 plus 4 puts us all the way up to 45 for the government faction. And so again, that was aid of 32 plus 12 gets us to 40. So 32 plus 12 is 44, and then minus the 3 is 41. So the Taliban get the number of their bases. They have 9 bases out on the map, so they're going to get 9 resources. Let's do that now. And then the Warlords get number of their bases plus the number of guerrillas on unsabotaged lines of communication. They have 9 as well. And then they get unsabotaged lines of communication. They have a lot. It's the number of guerrillas. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that actually might be it. So 6 plus their 9 bases gives them 15 more resources. So they're going to go all the way up to 37. And suddenly, their resources are almost enough. Their uncontrolled population is still way down there, but their resources are almost to where they need to be. Subtract 3 times the number of casualty pieces from aid. There's no casualties, so we're not going to... 3 times 0 is 0, basically there. Then support civic action in spaces with coin control. Police and any troops. Every 3 government resources spent removes a terror marker. Once no more terror, shifts slow and level towards support. The owner of the most troops in the space decides. Coalition first, and if tied, how much civil action is bought. Okay, so what do we need? We need coin control, police, and any troops. That could be government or coalition troops. And then whoever decides in a space is going to be the person with the most troops there. How much civic action is bought. And if it's a tie, the tie goes to coalition. So for example here, coin control, troops, police, and there's 2 coalition troops and 2 government troops, so it's a tie. So we would get to decide how much civic action to do here. We're not going to do any because it's already at support, but that's just an example. So let's look at the spaces that don't have support, but have the rest. So here, coin control, troops, police, coalition's tied, no terror markers. So we're going to spend 3 resources and do, so I just spent the 3 resources, and we're going to get a support here. And that will give us 2 more victory points. And then let's see, where else can we do it? Not there, because it's already at support. We could do it there, but we don't want to bother with that. Not coin controlled. Already at support. Here we go. Coin control, troops, police. And the number of troops for the government well outweighs the number of troops. So the government gets to decide this spot how much to do. I'm just going to keep going because a few more spaces. I want to see if there's any more that we can do. Here, there's 2-to-1 troops for the government. Down here, troops, police, coin control. This we can do. So we can spend 3. Let me just make sure I'm reading this right. I don't want to accidentally botch this. Coin control, police, any troops. Owner of the most troops in the space decides. Yep, cool. So 1, 2, 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. We get a support marker here. And that is 2 more victory points for us. And then down here, troops, police, coin control, 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. We get support. That's 1 extra victory point. Where are we at? Coin control, troops, police, but the troops outweigh. No police there, no police there. So the last 3 spots we need to look are here, and this is the ones that the government's going to get to decide. It's going to be here, here, and here. And we have a handy chart that tells us what the government does in the support phase. So government civic actions. For maximum of 2/3 resources rounded down. Remove terror only for a shift, where coin control, police, and government troops outweigh coalition troops. Unless final propaganda, which it's not. This is the second to last propaganda card. Add support where government base and no blah blah blah. Remove the most opposition, add no support. So essentially, it's only going to remove terror if it's going to do anything at all. And then it's going to remove the most opposition and not add any support. It's only going to add support if it's the last propaganda. And it's going to do this at highest pop and then at the last terror marker. Okay, so they're not going to add support. They are going to remove opposition. So they're not going to add support over here. This is the only space we have to worry about. There's no terror marker in that location, so it'll cost them 3 resources to do that shift right there. 1, 2, 3. And that will cause the Taliban opposition to go down by 1. And that's that. Then the Taliban, the Taliban get to do their same thing, but basically in reverse, the Sharia law, in spaces where Taliban control, every 1 resource spent by the Taliban removes a terror, and then once no more terror, shifts 1 level toward opposition. So what are they going to do? To max extent, remove terror only for shift. And then first, they're going to prioritize the greatest shift, so where there's already support and where there's the least amount of terror. But, and yeah, I think I was talking about this before, and some of you pointed out in the comments, they're not going to do it in places that have 0 population because it doesn't make sense to do it there. However, Taliban control is here and here. They get to do it there. The spot that probably they don't actually exist there, but the cat was playing as the Taliban, I guess. I don't think, I'm just verifying. Yeah, there's no other places with Taliban control other than here, here, and here, and these other ones are already at opposition, so they're just going to do it there for 1 resource. Boom. They get their opposition. They get their point. And I think that's it for Sharia. Next is redeploy. I think this is the hardest part to do of the propaganda for the AI. All right, so adjust control only after completing. Desertion. So the government removes 1 in 3 of its own cubes in each space, round down to available. 1 in 3 of its cubes in each space, regardless of everything. This is just, it happens. I believe the redeploy, the desertion. It says here, police and troops evenly, beginning with troops. So we'll start over here. 1, 2, 3. So 1 in 3. They're going to remove evenly, beginning with troops. So they're going to remove this troop. That's 1 in 3. And we're rounding down, so they don't have to remove anything there. Here they have to remove 1 in 3. Here they have to remove 1 in 3. Here they remove 1 in 3, beginning with troops. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to remove 3 things. It goes troops, police, troops. Up here they have troops they remove first. And here they remove troops. Here they remove 1 police. Only 2 things there. 6 here, so troops and a police. And 5 there, so just 1 troops. I think that's all the spots. So, big old dump. Okay. Then, oh, 1 second. Sorry, I got a text from my wife, so just had to double check, make sure everything was okay. And it is. All right, so we just did the desertion. Brutal for the government, but they can train it right back. No worries. Coalition may, and then government must, move its troops from lines of communications or provinces without coin bases only to coin bases under coin control or Kabul. Government may then move police to any locks or coin control. Okay. Yeah, this is where it gets a little tricky. You have to parse these sentences out. So the government has to do this. Well, we may first. I don't think we're going to. All of our places just have like one thing. We don't need to redistribute anything. So let's not. The government must move its troops from any lines of communication. Let's look. Are they on any lines of communication? I don't think the troops are. There's a bunch of police on there. Yeah, just police. Okay, they also have to remove troops from provinces without coin bases to coin bases under coin control. So, are there any provinces out there with troops but no coin bases? Troops but coin base. Troops, no coin base. Here's an example. They have to remove these and they have to move them to somewhere else. So they have to move it to coin bases under coin control or Kabul. And then they can move police on the other stuff. So what does the AI want to do with these? With troops from locks or no coin base bases with no support and 0 to 1 population. That's this. That's the coalition. Whoopsie doodles. Okay, relocate troops. Evenly, minimum 1 per space to Kabul or coin control with coin base. Evenly. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means, other than, I mean, I know what it means. It's just minimum 1 per space to Kabul or coin. Okay. I think there's a lot of places. Anyway, we're going to remove these ones for now. We're going to put them right here just so I don't forget them. Coinbase, Kabul, up here. These have to go. This has a Coinbase. This does not. Okay, it removes its troops. But the police, we don't need to do. Right, it's a may situation. Okay. Oh, Did I miss them? Yeah, I missed some here. All right, here's a bunch of troops. And it's got to be evenly. Probably I roll for this, but I think I'm just going to plonk it. There's one in Kabul, and then I'm going to go like highest population first. So here, then here, then I think this is next. Any other twos? No. So now the ones. One. One. Okay, now there's 3 left. Oh, this is 1, 2. So there's... Did I already do that one? I don't think so. Maybe I did. Oh well. 1 here, again in Kabul, and then it's a roll-off between those 2 locations. They're just going to put it here. I randomly decided. If I was being more formal about it, I would have rolled the dice and done the map thing and figured out where they would go. But didn't bother. Now they're going to move police to lines or locks or coin control to keep the most control after population. If relevant, get up to 2 police per the 3 and 4 econ locks, up to 1 per other lock. What the hell does that mean? Okay. So we're going to move police to locks or coin control. I assume it means from. Do not relocate or remove spaces last troop or police. Okay. So. Yeah. So we're not going to remove that spaces last police. I don't think we're going to redistribute. I don't know. This is hard to. Let me look in the actual rule book here. Okay, based on the wording, they're only going to move from places that don't have a coin base or coin control and coin control. So, for example, they could move 1 police from up here because there's no base there, and from over here as well. They want to move the police in such a way to maintain coin control in as many places as possible. But again, they must go. Oh, they only just need coin control to go to. So, for example, up here, there's 2 coin things and 3 non-coin things. So they need to move two things in here to keep it. This doesn't have any coin control, so they don't have any problem evacuating from here and going up here to establish or maintain control. All the other spots they're already at coin control with a coin base, and they already are going to keep that coin control. So I don't think they actually want to move from or to anywhere else on the map. Okay. Hopefully I did that right. Okay, the government must move all guerrillas from lines of communication or provinces without bases, not Kabul, to Taliban bases under Taliban control or Pashtun Pakistan. So, to stay there, they need bases. To provinces without their bases. Yeah, must move all guerrillas from lines of communication provinces without their bases. So, anywhere where they don't have bases, they leave. No base, no base. And from lines of communication. So they're gone from here. No base. Yes, base. Yes, base. No base. Okay. Kabul, they can stay. Okay, and they must move 2. So they've got this chunky pile. they must move to Taliban bases under Taliban control or Pashtun, Pakistan. Let's see what the thing is. Ugh, the light is not... It's glare. Okay. Relocate from locks and no Taliban base spaces evenly to Taliban bases in control or Pashtun, Pakistan. Have a minimum of 1 guerrilla per Taliban base space in Afghanistan. Okay. So it's evenly. And, oops, I missed one. All right. And when we do this, we're going to deploy them underground. So let's see. It's got to be Taliban control and bases. So they don't have to relocate from here, but they do have to relocate. They can't relocate to here. Is that right? That seems a little cattywampus here. Or doggy wampus. Provinces without their bases to Taliban's bases under their control. So it doesn't mention needing to remove from Taliban bases not under their control. So this is the only spot, and then Pashtun, Pakistan is the only other spot. So they move here, and then there's 2 different Pashtun, Pakistan bases. So they go here, they go here, and then let's see. Oh, good, we've got 6 left. So for 3 spaces. So we'll do 2 more here, 2 more here. God, my fingers are not nimble. I'm left-handed, and so using my right hand to do this, I don't know why I'm just holding the camera with my left hand, I guess. That feels most natural to me. But I'm not very dexterous with my right hand. Anyway, then we're finally almost done with this one. Adjust coin control and Taliban control, and then we check, is this the game end? If it's the final round, determine victory, otherwise we'll reset. And reset, we're going to remove all base and 1 to true troop casualties from play, rest to available. Islamabad is hard, so what that's going to do is end up flipping and not shifting. Otherwise, it would go one. So we actually lucked out. I know we did that on purpose, where we pushed it far this way while it was hard, so it wouldn't shift back to backing. Then we're going to remove all the terror and sabotage, all guerrillas to underground, discard momentum, blah, blah, blah. So first, though, we're going to adjust the control. Still have control, no control. This goes away. Still have control, still have control. This goes away. This goes away. This goes away. What are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 4. So we keep control there. And Taliban definitely have control there. We have control. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. Yeah, it's fine. No control. No control. Yes, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we did that perfectly as well. Okay, looks good. So these go back in the bucket. And then, oh no, I missed one. So let me roll the die on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So they're gonna go here. Okay, so in the reset phase, the casualties go to available. This thing flips. We flip everything underground, and we get rid of all the sabotage and terror markers. I know there's a couple of those. And hopefully I didn't miss a bunch. Yeah, I don't see any more. Terror markers go back. Then we flip this. We flip this. All guerrillas to underground. Probably not the most most fun thing to watch in the world. We're almost done. Don't worry. Okay. All right. I think that's all of them. Grand. Now, okay, we removed all the bases to casualty. We shifted the Islamabad marker. We removed her and sabotage. All guerrillas went to underground. We discard this momentum card, and it's no longer in play. All factions go to eligible, and we play the next card. Whew. I will play the next card for you guys. So here we go. It is Golbudin Hekmatyar. Golbudin Hekmatyar. I am not gonna get that correct, so I'm sorry. And then roadside IEDs is after that. So Taliban are up first. What do the Taliban do? What do they do? Okay. So, current card or next card a capability? Yes, the next card's a capability. So C8.1 capability. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I think it's if it's the last propaganda card, blah blah blah. Let me check. Okay, so for capability, Coalition and Taliban, then if the next card is if this or the next card's a capability, and they definitely will have the ability to take it, opportunity to take it, and if 1d6 rolls less than or equal to the number of unplayed propaganda cards, so less than or equal to, we're saying the next propaganda card is the last one, so there is one unplayed propaganda card. So if they roll a 1, that would be less than or equal to that, and they will pass and take the upcoming capability card if they want to do that. So we're going to roll a die, and if it's a 1, they're going to pass so that they can take this card. If it's more than a 1, then they will not do that. 4. So they're not going to do it. Then if it's momentum, no. Okay. They're going to play the shaded part if it's effective, and it's either going to shift support up or down, opposition or Taliban resources up or down, remove or replace. So basically, if it's effective and it shifts any of these things, we're going to do it. They're going to play the shaded part. Shaded part here says place a Taliban base and guerrilla in a neutral or opposition Pashtun province. So those do exist. Here's a neutral Pashtun province, for example. And they want to do it in, this says neutral or opposition, in the place that is the most actually, I don't know if they want to do it in the most. It's probably random after. I don't think there's any priority here unless there's special instructions, but like they could go here, for example. That is a opposition Pashtun province. It has a higher population, but it's a base. It doesn't matter. But let's double check the special instructions. This is card number 35. So 35, no special instructions. So I believe I'm already open to the page. So events, non-player events, who and where. And there's a choice of player. Yeah, okay. Select event space to ensure that as many pieces as possible are replaced or removed. Otherwise, select spaces randomly. So they're going to select spaces randomly. And neutral or opposition Pashtun space could be here, 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 here. I mean, they've got, well, they can't do it here. There's no room for base. Here, they've got plenty of options. Oh, if it was 6, we can do that. Let's actually do the this thing. So for this for this dice. We're gonna do the random spaces map. This is on section 8.4, and it's a little bit more complicated than the random space map in like Andean Abyss and stuff. So let me just double check how to use it. We haven't used it yet, so I'm glad we're playing on. Okay, it's super easy. First, roll the green die, and then select. We'll see what it is. So we roll the green die. We got a 6 on the map. Then 6 is in Pakistan. I do not believe that is a legal space because it's got to be neutral or opposition, and it's not in Afghanistan. So that's not going to work. So we're going to re-roll that. So it's a 3. All right, 3 is this kind of middle-ish area here. And then we roll any die and see whichever space it lands on. So let's roll this one again. A 6. Wow. Wish I was playing Warhammer. Getting a lot of 6s. It's this middle space here, which corresponds to this here. That's not a legal space because there's... they're not prioritizing this because there's no room for a base here. So we will follow the arrow, and the next space is Kabul. And Kabul is not a legal space either. So then they're going to move along to Nuristan, which is here. This is a perfectly viable candidate. So as you can see, we're tracing out. We started in this section. We rolled a 6, not legal. So we follow the arrow. Kabul wasn't legal, so we follow the arrow. Even though we're switching sections now, we went over here to this. And Nuristan is a legal location. So they will place a base and a guerrilla there, and like this. And that gives them an extra victory point because they like bases. They did the event. Then next is the Warlords. Warlords are on the docket. And let's see what the Warlords do. If current cards momentum or current cards capability to do that, so they can't play the event. They're not at 0, so they're gonna keep going. Would rally replace guerrillas with bases. So I think they can do that here. So that's a yes. At 3+, Warlord guerrillas, if no space for a base, Suborn against a government base, and then rally placing a base there. So where else do they have? I think that's the only space that has 3+ guerrillas in it. So it's not option 1 because there is room for a base. So they are just going to replace 2 guerrillas with a base. Bleep blorp. And that, they don't care about bases. And this 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's still uncontrolled. The Taliban would need 4 pieces to make it control, and the coalition also would. So still uncontrolled. And what did we do? Oh yeah, that cost a resource. That's what I was thinking about. Then they're going to rally at the highest 1+ population with 1 warlord base and room for a base. Ooh, if rally placing guerrillas enables cultivate. Okay, so they're going to try and cultivate a spot with a warlord base and room for a base. Highest 1+ pop. That's 0. Everywhere else, there's no room. No room, no room, no room, no room, no room. So they're not going to do that one. Where warlord bases, but no other warlords. I don't think that situation exists on the map either. And then at warlord bases, at the highest population, they're just going to rally there. There's a star. Not sure what the star is. We do this every time. I think the star is in the text of the thing. To decide if they need to like flip over or something. So here, this is the highest population with a warlord base. And so they're going to rally there. They get, I believe it's population plus bases. Oh, right. Any provinces. If base and not Pashtun instead may place... Okay, yeah, it's not Pashtun. Guerrillas up to population plus bases. This is not Pashtun. And so population plus bases would be 4, but they only have 2 guerrillas available, so they'll do that here. And now they're straight up out of... Oh, the star's right down here. Okay, they're not going to do that anyway because everything's underground already. So they're done rallying. And now they will move along to... Are they at 43 plus resources? No. They're going to cultivate. In one space where 1 plus population, guerrillas outnumber police, and it was selected for a rally or march. So the only places that exists would be, well, we rallied here. This does not outnumber. Oh, we do outnumber the warlords do outnumber the police here. So they could do it there, or they could do it down here. Let's look at cultivate. If last campaign, we're going to skip to traffic. This is the last campaign, so we're skipping down to traffic. Where warlord bases and no coalition. Okay, there is a spot, at least one spot of that. They are going to... So, uncontrolled warlord base bases, all ward bases, but yeah. Okay, I remember this one. So, traffic. Each space with warlord base, no coalition. We're going to add 1 resource per warlord base. And then if it's, depending on whose control, it's either going to add Taliban resources or patronage. And so first they're going to do it at uncontrolled spaces. So 2 warlord bases here, they get 2 resources. Uncontrolled. There's 1 here, they get another 1. And there's 1 over here. Oh, it needs to be 1 plus population. Or no. That was for cultivate. That was for cultivate. Correct. Okay. Uh-oh. I gave them 1 here and I shouldn't have. Because there's coalition here. But they do get 1 from over here. So put that back. So those were the uncontrolled ones with no coalition. And now they're going to do it everywhere. All warlord bases, but award the player no resources or patronage. Their other bases, though, all have coalition pieces there, so they don't get to do it any more than what they've done already. So that was their operation. That was their special activity. We adjust the eligibility, and we end up playing the next card, which is going to be roadside IEDs. And the card that follows after that is going to be Teetotalers. It's a crazy picture. Okay. So we're going to leave it there for now. This is already a 44-minute long video. I know I did ramble at the beginning, and I'm probably going to ramble now. So hopefully this is still enjoyable. Again, even though some things may have shifted. And we are going to treat this as the last campaign. And so I assume, we're only going to get maybe halfway down through the deck of the cards left so that this series doesn't go on forever. I will be doing a series of videos, I think, once I'm done with all the coin games, where maybe I play through Falling Sky or something, including Ariovistus from, the big epic campaign. And that's going to be a really long series, so strap yourselves in for that. But I'm trying to keep the rest of them manageable so that new players learning the game can feel like they're exposed to a lot of these different situations, but it's not an overwhelming task or a huge time commitment to watch all of them. Anyway, so this has been A Distant Plane, and we're on the last campaign now, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Bye.